The following is a production of KXLY-4 Spokane.
1993 was not kind to Libby, Montana. In April, the mine shut down, putting almost 300 people out of work. Then in the fall, the mill was sold, and almost 300 more were out of a job. But the people of Libby found a strength inside even they never realized. It's the kind of courage you'll find in Montana's heartland.
Let me show you what love means. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can
874646. You're going to have to put an IV in your hand. Could you get me maybe a saline flash?
Just remember, Dad's going to be here all day, okay?
The Johnsons of Libby, Montana are 200 miles from home in a place they'd rather not be.
Put this rubber band around your arm so it makes your veins puff up and I can see them better. I can get it to puff up. Amanda, can you make a fist and squeeze your hand?
Their little girl, Amanda,
It's going to feel like a pinprick.
is about to have open heart surgery.
Hey, honey, I'm going to have to stick you a little bit.
And at Sacred Heart Medical Center, the crisis right now is just getting the IV in her arm.
Don't think about it, then it won't hurt, I promise.
They're on the third try.
It didn't get in your vein, so that means I have to poke you one more time.
This is Love Dub Bear, Mandy. And he has all the things on that you're probably going to come back with. And he's your bear to keep.
A valve in Amanda's heart leaks, making her heart work too hard to pump her blood.
He already has an IV just like yours.
She's had the deformity since birth.
He
See?
sure does.
Just the same.
And as she grows, it gets worse.
Another IV line. It's called an RA line, and that goes right into the right atrium of the heart. And we monitor that. That reflects how well the heart is pumping.
Now, at age 5,
Okay.
Amanda looks to a stuffed bear to try to understand what will happen to her.
Her chest incision will just be mid-sternal, just down like that. There will not be any staples.
Her parents, who do understand, are in for a long day.
And take him down to surgery, too.
Here we go.
The day will feel just as long in Amanda's hometown of Libby, Montana. There isn't a soul around who isn't praying for the little girl they've come to love.
Whatever it would take to make her, to make the operation go.
It all started one winter day, as Amanda's parents finally had to admit it. There was no way they could afford the surgery their daughter so desperately needed.
The only thing you can think of is, well, I guess we'll sell everything we have and start over if,
When Amanda was only a baby, her parents had to drop their insurance. Driving a logging truck couldn't bring in the money to pay for Amanda's rising premiums. Word got around the Johnsons needed help. And in Libby, Montana, help is closer than the corner store.
Well, I think it's important for people to realize that families fall into a rut from time to time, and it takes other people to help them out.
They called it Our Amanda, that day that champion mill workers gave 1 hour of their wages to pay for Amanda's surgery. And it wasn't just the mill. Like juicy gossip, the giving spirit spread all over town.
Her heart's broken. Her mom and dad didn't have much money to afford to get her surgery done. I want one of these too.
Amanda's kindergarten classmates scraped together their pennies.
It was filled with coins and
Children who didn't even know her emptied their piggy banks,
For you.
filled jars with lunch money,
$102.85.
and gave the Johnsons a gift they wouldn't have dreamed of asking for.
Yeah, that's the hardest part about this whole thing is there's nothing you could do to ever repay people for what they've done for us. They've saved our lives.
Yeah, that's a quarter.
But Amanda's wasn't the first life Libby set out to save.
I was healthy. I felt healthy. I was always going and doing something outdoors, and, how would something attack a healthy body?
Sally Sauer kind of started all this. A rare virus attacked her heart, and she and her family were told she would soon die without a heart transplant. But a $150,000 surgery and no medical insurance to help pay it kept the operation out of her family's reach.
That probably one of the greatest things we've ever done.
Until someone
and it's because
came up with a plan.
This project and all you guys that came along.
All these guys were supposed to have the day off, but to help Sally, they turned to what you can always count on around here.
Let your saws start.
Hard work and good timber jobs. Champion International donated a piece of timberland. The loggers donated the sweat and sore muscles to log it.
Real good to help Sally out.
Wish her all the luck.
I'd like to say, Sally, get well quick. Our heart's with you.
The whole community decided Sally should have her heart. And when Libby decides something, look out.
Boy, am I thankful to be here.
To look at Sally now, you'd never guess that not so long ago, doctors told her family she had only a half hour to live.
It was scary. God.
The new heart arrived just in time. That timber sale bought Sally her heart. It bought her the rest of her life.
I'm 28 this year, and it's like, just think I might not have been here, you know, if it wasn't for my new heart. And it really, but every day is like birthday to me.
And in her new heart, Sally feels grateful to her friends and neighbors who paid for her surgery and sent her get well cards.
That's cute.
By the hundreds.
I hope you get
well. Isn't that nice?
And somehow this town of 2,500 is doing it all again.
Everybody is trying to help you.
Raising another $50,000
I like you a lot,
for a little girl
even though
who stole their heart.
I do not know you. If they knew you, they'd really like you.
It's what you might expect from any small, close-knit town. Funny thing is, Libby can't afford it. Libby can't afford anything right now.
Everyone here is in a state of transition. We're trying to figure out what tomorrow's going to bring and how we're going to make it from now until tomorrow.
Montana's Heartland on KXLY4 will return.
Morning. How are you today? Do you need cream for your coffee?
Henry's is a place where you're always greeted by name.
Thank you very much, Bill.
And it's okay to wear your hat to breakfast.
There you go. Are you going to be too cold sitting here, do you think? We have a lot of loyal customers, so they, you know, if they're going to eat, they're going to eat in here, I think.
Sharon Cummings has kept the coffee hot and the conversation flowing ever since old Henry died. Through the years, her customers have never been ones to gripe.
You can always look around and see somebody that's worse off than you are.
But lately, Sharon can hear the fear in their voices.
Oh, no. There's a lot of people in this town that need help right now, though. It's just, oh, no.
For the better part of a century, the mill has kept Libby clothed and fed. This town is used to being at the mercy of its mood swings, but it's just different this time.
Yeah, everybody's really scared. I mean, you know, that mill has been there for, you know, forever.
It built the town. It's the thought that it would not be here just blows you away. It's what we've built our community around all these years. And
Connie Woods sees it all from behind her desk. No matter when you drive down Mineral Avenue, you're likely to see Connie sitting here at the insurance office.
One right next to us is gone. They moved up. This one's gone.
You also can't help but notice how empty this once Main Street has become.
I think there's a couple places empty over there in the Mineral Plaza, too. Larry's really makes a big hole. And see, that was a two-generation place that went out of business. So that was pretty sad when we lost that.
Like so many Northwest timber towns, Libby is hanging on by its fingernails. Many of the miners who lost their jobs when the mine shut down have left town or taken jobs at the mill. Trouble is, the mill is in trouble too. From the recession to the spotted owl, Champion has taken a beating. So much so, the company finally gave up and sold all its Montana mills. A Portland company bought the mill and is in the process of hiring back about half the workforce. That's 300 workers who will be called for interviews, and 300 who won't.
You know, if it's you're one of the ones that haven't had the phone call, you're pretty uptight.
Sweet dreams of you. Every night.
Right now, it's just everybody's waiting for a phone call. It comes up all the time. Yeah, almost everywhere you go, it's people are asking you, well, did you get called yet?
Lincoln Lanes is where Libby comes to relax. You can't go anywhere these days without somebody asking that question.
I see people all day long and they ask you, well, did you get called yet?
Did McNally keep his job?
I talked to Vince Parker and they got told that they got to turn their pagers in on the 29th. All of them. See, Vince probably doesn't have a job, McNally.
On Tuesday and Thursday afternoons, when the paper comes out, things get a little hectic at the Western News. Deadlines here are not determined by the clock on the wall, but the line at the front desk. Libby readers like their newspaper on time.
Is a new one?
And still warm.
Thank you.
No, I won't smear you. I won't smear you, but I certainly will I'll try to tell the facts as straight as I can. So.
Greg Van Tegum has worked for the Western News for 3 years, a long time for an ambitious reporter at a small paper. And although so much of the news lately has been discouraging, certain stories keep Greg here.
We're looking forward to having a good basketball game. We'll give you the starters.
It's Libby and Troy on the basketball court.
Susie Connor, in and out, it's no good.
But it isn't a sports assignment. It's another fundraiser for Amanda.
She needs to have some surgery done, and it's expensive.
It seems all of Libby and Troy are here. Even the governor showed up.
The technical on the Troy coach.
He's the guy in the stripes.
That's on the Libby bench, too, a technical.
To go here in the second quarter.
Well, it's just a special place. They've been racked with all kinds of economic troubles, but there is something that allows them to transcend that when one of them is in trouble. It's like a very large family.
And on this night, this family fills a gymnasium.
We're here as a community to remind the country what that word community used to mean.
At the time these folks feel so powerless, they have the power together to help one more precious life.
And we're here about hope. Hope. Hope for a community that has been battered and beaten down and kicked around and shown time and again that we can take care of our own. Hang on to your heart, because if you haven't met her yet, you're about to meet somebody who will steal it. And I'm talking about Amanda Johnson.
Her getting well is part of the healing process for the whole town. She needs to get well.
Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time?
You're watching Montana's Heartland on KXLY4. This is it.
Life works in the hospital. It's a good heart.
To the people in this room, nothing else matters but what happens today. Everyone is here. Both grandpas, Oma, Grandma Fritter, Mom, Dad, little brother Duncan, everyone is here but Mandy. And as Amanda's family feels it's most helpless and alone, the phone rings, and it's Libby.
It's Roger Shields from the radio station in Libby. You got a number?
How are you?
Good.
Because Libby's 2,532 residents couldn't fit into the waiting room, they've been calling radio news director Roger Shields all morning.
You know the circumstances.
As soon as she gets out, we'll let you know what's going on.
Then we really appreciate it. Bye-bye.
The locals say if you want a good signal from KLCB radio, it's best to park right under the transmitter. But on this day, static or not, 1230 on your AM dial is Libby's link to Amanda.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Almost as much as Amanda's family needs her to pull through, Libby needs that too.
There's no place.
Can you imagine what those surgeons feel like when they've got the whole town sitting here waiting for them to... that's no pressure, is it?
She's still in surgery, and so far she's doing all right. She's holding up. So we're just waiting. Well, I'm holding up. That's about it. Yeah, waiting. That's the hard part. Wait and wonder.
In one waiting room of one hospital,
Looks very good.
one family's waiting is over.
It looks very good. They're just closing the chest now.
She made it. I knew damn well she would. She's a tough boy. That's a tough sister you got, just as tough as you, huh?
And an entire town is about to be paid in full.
The doctor just came in and said she made it through surgery all right.
You're kidding. She's done already?
They're just stitching her up.
Oh, my God.
And then they'll send her to her room.
Oh, that's incredible. I can't believe they're done already. That's 2 hours early.
Yeah, she made her through okay.
Isn't that something?
According to her father, Jimmy, Amanda went into surgery about 7:45 our time this morning. Word came back to Libby at 11:30 that the surgery was complete.
When When Amanda felt better, and it didn't take long, there was little debate over who would be this year's Lager Days queen. It had to be the little girl who, just by receiving, gave the town what it needed most.
It's hope. You know, hope is a real strong emotion. And when things are really, really bad economically and you're looking for any kind of good, somehow if you're the right type of community, that strength comes out.
And somewhere along this parade route, it started to sink in. They might be onto something here. If they can save 2 lives, maybe they can save this town.
I think we got the strength and the courage now. We don't feel so defeated.
It'll mean some tough changes, making the transition from timber to tourism, perhaps. Phone calls and letter campaigns are already starting up. People are banding together, this time to save the town. Libby has learned it can do anything, and through the people it loves, it keeps learning.
When that thing with Amanda and Sally, I felt, you know, the community was helping them. I didn't ever think it would come back to where everyone would be helping me.
Let's go this one. When Kyle Rosling's high school friends found out he needed surgery, they did what just comes naturally now in Libby.
Hey, we're canvassing door to door to see if you would like to donate to Kids for Kyle.
They helped.
For donations to help pay for Kyle Rosling's medical expenses. All donations are tax
Here you go. Thanks.
We'd appreciate anything you could give to help Kyle out. Thank you.
It looks like Kyle's gonna make it. Looks like Libby will too.
We're going to start building our economy 10, 15, 50 jobs at a time.
That's what I hope happens, is that by doing this, they'll be able to sort of learn from that and be able to say, okay, now how can we get ourselves out of this mess? Well, hey, we did it for Kyle, we did it for Amanda, we did it for Sally. Let's do it for ourselves.
In one night, Kyle's friends raised some $10,000, and hardly anyone was all that surprised. The morning after, residents awoke to see that someone had proclaimed what everyone here must be feeling. And there on the hillside, perhaps that's why the people of Libby will look you in the eye and say, crazy as it sounds, they do not fear the future.
When we stand together, it's our finest hour. We can do anything, 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 anything. Keep believing in the power.
Libby's been here for 100 years with good, strong people. And you come back in another 100 years and we'll still be here saying and doing the same silly things, I'm sure.
Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Yes, I do. Love can build a bridge. Love and only love. Between your heart and mine. Between your heart and mine. Love can build a love and only love. Don't you think it's time? Oh, don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time?